I'm John, and tonight I want answers about the California state sales tax, and I want answers about coffee. There's no stopping me now because we're live.
John wants answers. Give John answers.
I'm really sleepy. I'm feeling really tired.
Kind of low energy.
Give
Well,
John
I need
answers.
something to pick me up, you know.
Like heroin?
Check your calendar. If it says July 14th, 2011, then we're live. There's going to be at some point a little title. Yeah, I have a date there. Man, I really am tired. I need something. I need a mocha. Nicole, mocha me.
All right, let's go.
Tonight we are lucky to have Nicole. She runs the coffee bar at my work, and I get coffee from her every day, and she makes great coffee. So I'm going to get a coffee from her tonight, and I have all these mugs. I have a John Wants Answers mug. You can get one too by going to johnwantsanswers.com. And I brought these mugs for my audience here who want some coffee. I have my BBA from York University mug. I have an old Mac Hack mug. That's a conference for geeks.
Yeah. Not evil hackers.
Expo 86 mug, which is from Expo 86 in Vancouver. I went there as a young little tyke. This mug says coffee in big letters on it, so that's kind of cool.
And it's got a cat.
Here's a mug that says Apple on it. And here's a bunch of my John Wants Answers mugs.
Available
So, Nicole.
at johnwantsanswers.com.
Come make me a mocha, please.
Oh, in your personal cup?
In my
Yeah.
John Wants Answers mug.
Okay.
Yeah, you better tip well.
Yeah.
And then during the show, we'll have people coming up asking for drinks in whichever mug they choose. I will not play favorites. I will not judge you by which mug you choose.
Don't take the John Wants Answers mug.
So a special announcement. John Wants Answers was made possible in part through a donation from Lisa Tamaki. And there's a picture of Lisa there. I believe she looks like she's 2 years old. I'm guessing. I don't know. Picture's taken in 1964, so she's not that small anymore. So thank you for your continued support. My expert tonight, my guest and expert tonight, is Keith Stattenfield. He's the host of Keith Explains, another fine show on this station, where he explains a variety of things, but he mostly lies.
Mostly I lie.
On his show. On our show, we're lucky that he doesn't lie. He tells the truth in a convincing manner.
Yeah.
He's our expert because he's a news junkie, history buff, philosophy major, and
major.
all-around nice guy.
Oh, I'm leaning.
If you've never seen the show before,
And you haven't.
this show is like a courtroom drama. I'm the prosecutor, my guest is the expert witness, and you at home are the jury. So it's your job to vote to acquit or convict the topics. It's the topics that are on trial.
I'm declaring a mistrial. The show is over.
You're the expert witness. You can't declare mistrials. We'll be taking your tweets.
Who's the judge?
We don't. He's out today. This is like a,
Okay.
Send us your tweets at John Wants Answer. There's no S on the end of answers because the last S that you would have been there is for suck.
Yeah.
We just left the two S's that are for super. So you can tweet us during the show, and we'll be taking your tweets, and we'll read them out. So you can ask additional questions on the topics, or you can butter me up and tell me how great I am or the show is.
I thought there was no line.
How come no one's making a mocha? You can make the mocha now. I'm not going to stop talking.
Oh, God.
We're talking for the next half hour.
Oh, boy.
It's sad.
We've got a Twitter contest. So the first person to tweet us and say, I want a headshot, gets an autographed headshot. Last month, Docs was the winner, so he can't compete this time. But if
Eligible.
you're first, you get an autographed headshot.
Guys have already tweeted us. People have already tweeted us.
Really? But have they
Yeah.
said that they want a headshot?
I'm having this long conversation with Laughing Guy.
Laughing guy. Is he laughing already?
Chris Uvik wants pics.
I think
Chris
I might know him.
Uvik.
So,
Uvik. Hi, Chris.
while you're on the internet tweeting us, because I know you are, why not go to johnwantsanswers.com? There you can go and see links to our shows and bios of our guests and funny pictures of us. You'll get a link to the live internet stream in case you're watching this on YouTube now or something. And you can get T-shirts and mugs from the website. And we got a QR code now. I made this QR code. And so put up your phone next to your TV or your computer or whatever it is and scan that code, and that'll save you the time of going johnwantsanswers.com. Instead, your phone will just magically take you there. Funny story today, I'm in the coffee line.
Yeah.
Trying to get coffee from Nicole, but she wasn't there today. In that line. She was in that coffee bar. Anyways, so I put one of these codes right beside the cashier in the coffee line. There's a guy in front of me, and he's like seeing this. He scans it on his phone.
Yeah.
And it brings up my show. And he turns around and he sees me in line behind him wearing the shirt that's on his phone. He's like talking to his friend like, dude, check this out. He's like,
I'm high right now. I am totally high right now. That's what he was thinking
Yes.
inside his head. He's like, I have had dreams like this, except usually when I'm at work and weird things like this happen, I'm also naked, right? That's what he was thinking.
I couldn't go into his head, but I imagine that's exactly
probably what he was thinking.
That's what I'd be thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scott Canaster, unfortunately, cannot be with us tonight.
He's
but
never with us.
He has been with us.
He was here once.
He's been here twice. 3 times a lady. He said once, and I quote, "This might be the best TV show I have ever seen."
So Scott lies a lot.
No.
No, Scott does not lie. Purposely. Okay, I got a shout out. So I have a staff meeting every week, and our manager gets to the staff meeting a little late.
Yeah.
So while everyone's in the room waiting for the manager to come, I throw this show onto the big TV and make all of my colleagues watch the show.
Wow.
So I got a shout out to my team at work.
Sucks to be you.
Thanks
Or
for watching.
More specifically, someone who works with you.
Yeah, they were kind of stuck.
Don't they know to come late?
Yeah, they're slowly getting later and later. Everyone else too. Okay, now that we've gone through all that, it's time to get the show started. So our first topic, updates from last show.
It is nice music.
Yeah, it's not bad. So last show, we talked about Anthony Weiner.
Representative Weiner?
Yes. And since last show, he's resigned.
He has resigned.
Now, is he going to resign, or he has resigned? So he's no longer in
Left
Congress.
Congress.
So now that he's gone, who's voting on his behalf?
Nobody.
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 So Congress has one less member than usual.
They have. Well, yes.
When will there be a new person?
September. They're having an election.
So they need to elect somebody. So it's not like a
Correct.
senator who gets assigned by a corrupt governor.
It depends on the state. I mean, some states the governors can't appoint senators.
So
either.
in New York, I guess, they have to have an election.
They have to have an election.
So New York is underrepresented for a while.
Yes.
Okay. And next I want to update on Dominic Strauss-Kahn.
GSK.
He allegedly did some bad things in his hotel room with a
With a maid.
And now he's been released, and the charges have been dropped, I understand?
Charges have not been dropped
Okay.
yet. I mean, we're live, so they could have been dropped in the last hour or so.
We've gotten like a alert.
I would
on
probably
our
been tweeted.
devices.
I would have been tweeted.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because
That's good
I'm on
news.
top of things.
Right,
He had been under very strict house arrest,
right.
and he has been released from that. He is not free to leave the country.
Okay.
I don't think he's even free to leave the state of New York.
But he can like.
But he
can
is
go to
not
Poconos.
under the very restrictive house arrest that he was at. He can
Right.
go out to fancy restaurants
Yeah, that's nice.
with his wife and explain why he was doing things with a maid.
Right. So why have the charges been dropped? I understand.
The charges haven't been dropped.
Okay, yeah, correct. Why is there? Oh, thank you. This is going to be.
Wake up.
I need this. Whew. All right, now I'm awake. All right.
You were awake
So,
a minute ago.
Charges not dropped, right?
Charges not dropped.
But we think they might be.
There's the implication.
There's a problem with the witness. The
There are
alleged-
issues
The ledger.
with the alleged victim.
Yes. What are the issues with the alleged victim?
There are several issues. She's an immigrant to America, and she said a number of things had happened to her, essentially under oath, when she was when she was preparing for her, when she was asking to get asylum and get her green card. Many of those things involved horrific treatment in Guyana, the country she came from, and many of those have turned out to be probably complete falsehoods or, at the minimum, severe exaggerations.
Right. So
They have a tape of her talking to a boyfriend of hers in a jail, I think in Arizona, very shortly after the attack happened, where she talked about how the guy had a lot of money and she thought she'd be able to get some. So
her
there's the
credibility
implication that she
is in
might
question.
have been attempting to extort.
right. I understand some other lady in France
A
is
French
alleging
journalist
that he did similar things with
many
her
years ago,
Many years ago.
7 or 8 years ago.
Right. So he's going to have other problems later in another country.
But he's probably not going to be running for the top job in France. I think premier or president,
All right.
which he was
next
almost
topic-
certainly going to win.
Our next topic: California
next
state
topic.
sales tax. It's going more from this.
It does. There's a directionality to
Yeah,
it.
it
It's
used to be
very.
like, yeah. Now,
It used to be everywhere. It's
Now
like the
it's
stereo.
over
It's like
there.
the studio's not in stereo anymore.
if you're listening at home, I think it's from over there. Okay.
The station broadcasts in mono, though.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
I think
Sorry.
I think
You've
on
been,
YouTube.
you've
might
been
be
busy
stereo.
doing the stereo separation all these months.
I know. I have. Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, that. So, I'm celebrating Independence Day, or as I call it, American Day, and then I come back on Monday, or actually it was Tuesday probably, to my favorite deli.
Yes.
I order the same sandwich I always get.
Yes.
Instead of being $6.50, it's $6.44.
Yes.
What happened?
They were stupid and didn't raise their prices by 4 cents.
Lies.
No, that is what happened, right? They should have raised their prices by 4 cents because you would never have noticed. But on July 1st, sales tax in California dropped from 8.25% to 8.25% to 7.25% statewide,
Really?
and that's
It seems like a bad time to be lowering taxes when we had
It's
that
not a
huge
great time.
problem balancing the
deficit,
budget.
a large state budget deficit. Yes,
Why did they vote to lower taxes?
they didn't vote to lower taxes. A couple years ago, they voted to raise taxes for a fixed duration.
Oh, and it expired.
And that fixed duration expired on June 30th,
It's like the
2011.
Bush tax cuts expired, except it's the Bush,
then they renewed
not
them.
Bush tax increase expired.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
they renewed the Bush tax cuts.
But they
a
didn't
year
renew
ago.
this tax increase.
This was California, totally different.
So, 8.25 now.
8.25 statewide,
Now it's 7.25, you're saying.
7.25 statewide.
Now, I'm usually paying 9.25 sales tax. What's going on with that? I used to pay 9.25. Now I pay
State has a
8.25.
sales tax.
Right.
That was 8.25%. Now it's 7.25%. Counties and cities and other municipalities can impose additional taxes.
Okay.
And in Santa Clara County, there were 2 additional 0.5% sales taxes.
So
There
is
was
sales
a
tax-
general 0.5% sales tax, which was enacted years ago and I think persists. And a couple years ago, we voted a 0.5% sales tax for BART, for mass transit, but primarily for BART, to pay for the extension from BART from the Fremont area down to San Jose.
Okay. So is sales tax different almost everywhere you go to in California? Or
Many different areas have slightly different sales
because
taxes.
whenever I travel around this area, which is like 3 or 4 counties, 5 counties in this area, it all seems to be the same sales tax rate. So I'm not
A
going to
lot
save
of-
money on my MP3 player by going to Gilroy.
Most differences are like 0.5% or at most 1%. So, you might save $1 on a $100 purchase by driving to Gilroy, but it'll probably cost you more
cost
than
you
$1
more.
in gas to
Right.
drive to Gilroy.
So it's not unless you're like straddling the border,
yes.
then you're screwed. Okay. So let's say you, Key Stattenfield, sold items such as candy over
in
the
bottles
internet
on the internet.
in bottles.
Perfectly reasonable thing for a man to do.
How would you know what sales tax to charge somebody? Would you have to like look up where they came from and do all sorts of tedious calculations?